Please welcome to the stage Peter Tivy, founder, and Jordan Binotto, VP of Business Development at Teifi.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. I know everyone's keen to start hearing about Shopify content, so let's dive right in. We've all been there. It's the end of the day, maybe the end of a big week, and you're getting ready for, a fun team happy hour, and an urgent client request comes in. Maybe this has happened to some of you today, or maybe it's happening to some of you right now. I know I was getting a few text messages before I walked up here. Teifi, our shipment came in early for fall/winter 22. Can we roll out new landing pages for each by end of day? Now, I don't know about you, Peter, but this seems like a lot of work. But because we're committed to our merchants, as I know all of you are, we jump into action.
Now, there are so many ways we could approach this request. One option, and a lot of our clients come to us in this position, is to update hard-coded HTML page templates. This would require our team to go in, line by line, adjust any required text, styling, and any other content right within the theme. This is a lengthy dev and QA process, and it takes time away from our clients' budgets, which could be spent better elsewhere. Perhaps you've upgraded the page templates to use meta fields. And instead of having to go into the hard-coded templates, you can simply update the meta fields to reflect on the front end. But with 10 different landing pages, there would be a lot of meta fields to pick from, especially within the page UI within Shopify. This could be very overwhelming for any non-technical or technical resource. And it would be very tedious to enter in all this data. And if you were using any of the import-export meta field apps, it could be very easily overwritten. Jordan, not very typically ideal for this particular client.
I agree, man.
Another option would be to leverage Online Stores 2.0's blocks, which we've all learned to love. They're very customizable and easy to use. However, in this case, this merchant has several expansion stores, one for each country they sell into. We also need to develop new blocks for the landing pages. When we develop these, we can easily release these through the Shopify GitHub integration. But as many of you guys also use, probably using git ignore on the JSON config files to prevent any overriding between the different themes. So we would still have to go into each expansion store and manually configure the theme to reflect the landing pages. Even if you didn't use git ignore and just full YOLO'd it, content assets like images will definitely cause you problems. Jordan, I think this could be a little bit better.
I 100% agree, Peter. With the options at hand and 10 landing pages to build in a tight timeline, this would have been a very long night for our team. And here's where an exciting opportunity presents itself. In the current state, this support requires a consultant or developer to stop what they're doing and swoop in to save the day, taking away time for our team's ability to focus on work that actually makes an impact on our merchants' long-term growth.
Hello, Unite. My name is Peter Tivy, founder and CEO at Teifi.
And I'm Jordan, VP of Business Development, Director of Operations. And we're excited to share how our firm, Teifi Digital, is driving the future of themes, apps, and headless solutions with Shopify's exciting content platform. Teifi is one of North America's emerging Shopify Plus partners, one of its newest as well. And we're based out of Vancouver and Montreal.
Since 2015, Teifi has been creating enterprise solutions to complex merchant problems through the implementation of digital commerce experiences, as well as powerful ERP and IMS systems. This focus on product data and systems integration positioned us really well to work with the Shopify team on the rollout of their brand new content platform. This has allowed us to solve a lot of our clients' complex problems in really exciting ways. Now, I'm sure for a lot of you, especially those who missed yesterday's awesome presentation about the new Shopify content program, you're probably wondering what Shopify content is. So here's the TLDR. Content models are a new way to define entirely new types of content composed of text, media, and other resources. Think author bio, suggested recipe, or even an upsell opportunity. This functionality extends Online Store 2.0 and makes it easier for our merchants to go headless by keeping everything within the Shopify ecosystem.
Shopify content is a powerful addition to the Shopify admin. This functionality allows our users to group related pieces of dynamic content together and use these entries across the storefront. This helps us solve issues for merchants, design teams, and development teams by significantly reducing the amount of time, effort, and energy required to implement dynamic content.
With Summer Edition and all of the new meta field types we've all learned to love, all of these meta field types are available to Shopify content, making it easier than ever to migrate to Shopify content. Now, here's a great example of this functionality in action. With Shopify content, we reduce the need to do any theme customization or template creation by setting up a content model to account for 3 different banner types. You can edit the banner types right within the content model, and we put in some conditional logic within the template to display the banners accordingly. Now, in this case, we actually had 3 different banners: a simple hero banner, a background color banner with text, and a more complicated banner with a countdown timer. All can be edited within the content model in a single content entry. Now, the beautiful part about this is from any collection page within the Shopify UI, you can link this content type to apply to any collection, making it easier than ever.
Another great use case for the content model is speeding up the production time for content pages. Say you've iterated on a featured product landing page through A/B testing, and you found the best performing layout for your audience. Sure, you could duplicate the template, swap out images and copy, but rolling out new templates can be tedious and time-consuming.
With the content model, you can leave out all of the styling and configuration settings and bring the images, text, product, and collection input entries out of the JSON config and into Shopify content. This gives you the ability to keep these dynamic and never become outdated in future theme releases. Simply input your content entry, create your page, and reference that content in a dynamic source within your theme editor, and your landing page is also rolled out.
Now, immediately you saw an opportunity to use this exciting new application on one of our clients, Smash and Tess. Smash and Tess is one of Canada's fastest growing apparel brands who focuses on empowering women to live big, bold lives. This client works on a very fast-paced drop model with bi-weekly drops, and that has an incredibly fast pace of content creation. This year, for International Women's Day, Smash and Tess teamed up with the iconic brand Barbie to celebrate women in a really exciting way.
We immediately saw so much more potential than simply editing the theme with content. And Smash and Test really does love their customers. And with this, they like to offer a lot of promotions and incentives, often at the same time. As anybody knows on Shopify, if you're doing multiple upsells at once, it can be a little bit tricky. And don't get me wrong, there's lots of great apps and a lot of really cool checkout extensibility features coming. But we thought, why not try to solve this problem with Shopify content? And here's Heather from our UX team about a Smash and Test checkout upsell experience we created using Shopify content.
Hi there. I'm here today to show you a really cool feature that we've developed for our clients, Smash and Test. It's a cart upsell section that uses Shopify content to show different upsells based on the products in the customer's cart. Today we have a Love Day romper and we have a river dress upsell as well. The Love Day romper, as you can see here, is a global cart upsell. We have a section here called Always Shown that we can set to true to always show this product in the upsell. We also have a minimum spend amount to make sure the user is eligible for the deal, and some terms and condition lines to tell the user exactly what's going on. When we open this up, we see these product cards here that allow the user to easily choose a size and add it to their cart. The products shown are defined in the content model field Upsell Products, which allows you to define an array of products for each content entry. The next upsell is a river dress. This is specifically related to the Backyard Shorty product you see here through a product meta field. From the product page, we can scroll down to the meta field section where we can easily reference our river dress upsell. Now, when a customer has this product in their cart, they'll see the river dress upsell. Dynamic upsell offers have never been easier, thanks to Shopify content. Back to you, Peter.
Now, our merchants span many different industries, and one area in particular we work really well in is automotive. And over the years, we found some really cool ways to help onboard automotive merchants to the Shopify ecosystem. Teifi has done a lot of work to diminish the misconception that large catalogs and complex SKU structures aren't a good fit for Shopify. And even if you look at the theme store, you won't find a lot of themes that suit automotive particular merchants. And the main reason this is a problem is because of year, make, model. Now at Teifi Digital, we're currently working on a Shopify theme that works with Shopify content, and in this case, vehicle content, to provide an easy shopping experience for customers. We see an opportunity to even embed these content definitions within the theme to make a one-click setup for the merchant. With Shopify content, we're not having to use any third-party product information management systems, and in this case, a non-technical user can easily maintain the product and vehicle fit relationships right within the Shopify UI. And in this case, we actually have a content model set up for a 2020 Ford F-150, and we've linked that to a roof rack. And we've created a simple UI element that loops through the content to say, this product does fit this 2020 F-150. Now, this is not limited to automotive and opens us up to any parts or support-based verticals and only limits merchants by their data and imagination. We're also looking at how we can possibly pre-populate some of these content entries as part of an add-on to the theme, or possibly linking with some third-party data providers to provide latest industry data.
Now, what we're just scratching the surface here. We've already found some really interesting ways to use Shopify content to make private app development easier for our most complex Shopify implementations.
Now, our merchant, called Cartoonize My Pet, they came to us with a really interesting idea. They wanted to create a user-generated content dropshipping store by working with one of the dropshipping partners like Printify. Now, we knew right away that this was going to be a complex API-focused project, so we went with a headless build. And part of the design flow was essentially the user had the ability to go through a builder to design a cartoon version of your beloved pet. And how it actually worked was an array of vector layers that compiled together to create that final pet image. And part of the experience we wanted to build for the customer was the ability to kind of save that pet and call it back later. So we thought, why not use Shopify content and create a pet content model so we could slave those layers within Shopify content and then bring it back within the front-end experience later on. Now, this opened us up to some really cool ideas like pet-specific collections and even a My Pet section where they could see all of their pets. Maybe they're a cat lady, we don't know.
Or a cat person.
Yeah, and they can see all of it at once. Now, we've even been experimenting with ways where we can actually cache some of the API responses from our partner Printify right within Shopify content to reduce the number of API requests and speed up the experience for the customer.
Absolutely. Now, anyone working on hydrogen with a content-heavy store, this is what a lot of you are doing right now. And the goal with this was to really simplify and have to not necessarily use an outsourced CMS or integrate a CMS into your platform, but bring this all on Shopify, all onto one simple platform, and make this a lot easier for our merchants to go headless, looking something like this. Now, this is not a presentation on headless hydrogen and all the benefits. There were some great talks yesterday, and I know many of you attended, and if you haven't, please watch the videos. They were incredible. But headless increases performance, reduces technical debt, and now with the help of Shopify content, allows us to maintain similar migration and go-live timelines that we and our merchants love about Shopify. This gives us the freedom to build what we want on platform while having an efficient developer experience. But wait, Peter, how could we have forgotten? Our client needs 10 landing pages by end of day. What are we going to do about it, man?
So bringing everything together about what we talked about today, if our client was headless and using Shopify content, and in this case had 10 different regional stores, that would be 10 landing pages for each store, which is essentially 100 landing pages. With Shopify content, we could essentially have these landing pages on a single Shopify a single Shopify store, fill out all that content, and even have that content disseminate to other stores. Now, landing pages are just one example of this. There's also, think imperial to metric size guides and maintaining those on Canadian and US stores. Think upsell opportunities. Think collaboration linkings between products and influencers. Now, the opportunities with Shopify content and your experiences is pretty much endless.
Pretty much endless. With Shopify content, our clients can feel empowered to own their content and make changes like 10 landing pages for a launch, while also giving us the tools we need to complete complex enterprise solutions more streamlined, with less technical debt, and a focus on what we do best, creating incredible experiences for our merchants. Thank you, and we'd now like to open up the floor to any questions. Don't be shy.
Hey guys, thanks for the time. I'm really excited about the content platform. It looks amazing.
So are we.
The theme that you're developing for the year, make, model thing, when is that going to be available?
Good question. You got to talk to the Shopify theme guys and people. So we're in the review process right now. As you know, and anyone who builds themes, it is a lengthy and very thorough process, as it should be. You're creating themes to purchase, and you want to be creating value. Peter, thoughts on a timeline?
Couple months.
But you heard it here first. But we're really excited to release it on the theme store, and it's going to be great for not just automotive, but any kind of parts-based client. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, with Shopify content, we have year, make, model, but you could extend that content entry to year, make, model, trim, engine type, and that's just vehicles. You could also do the same thing for iPhone cases, appliances, pretty much any vertical that has some sort of service parts or accessory-related products.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi. So I have a question. When you went back to the example of, okay, now we have to launch 100 landing pages, essentially. You said now we can disseminate the content to other stores. Can you just dive into that like a little bit deeper about how that actually works?
Yeah, so right now with the Shopify content platform, it is store-centric. So you will have content basically for, if you have expansion stores, there would be one for each store. We are really hoping that Shopify will release some sort of native organization-level content syncing. But at the same time, you could very easily create a private app to sync that content between the different stores. And even, we're also working a lot with the Flow team, and perhaps there might be something that could happen there to use Flow to sync content from one store to another store.
Awesome. Yeah, please. Yeah, so and correct me if I'm wrong,
Wait,
but he's asking.
Let him.
Okay.
I just want to know about the content types that are available within the data modeling.
Yeah, 100%.
I believe it's every content type that's available to a meta field. And then the other cool thing with content is you can reference other content. So that was what I was alluding to in the upsell. So from a product page, you could have a content model for an upsell, and then right on the product UI page, reference that upsell. And you can do a list of content as well. Yeah, you can also do an array of content. Yeah.
Yep. Time for one more? Yeah, Max. Better be easy, man, though. We're sitting through your presentation next, okay?
Is this working? There we go.
Yeah.
First off, kudos for running with that presentation. You guys did a great job.
Thanks, man.
So it seems like content is now kind of first party. It's not in JSON files. It's now available by APIs, which is fantastic. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And have you guys worked with an admin API, authorship API, or just kind of consumption APIs?
Both, yeah.
Both? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and I think it will be available. I mean, the whole idea is it will be available from the storefront API as well.
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea of bringing it headless.
Mm-hmm.
And we really like the idea of doing it within Shopify, because one of the things of going headless is now you have all this other technology that you need to work with, and taking one element out, like another CMS, is quite nice.
Yeah, totally. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. That's all the time we have for questions. I really appreciate it. Let's go.